Mhm. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh gosh. So my normal sleep schedule is thrown off. So I have been getting sleepy around 6 or 7 p.m. and I wake up early in the morning. So y'all go get morning diamond now. Good morning, baby. How are y'all, morning people? I am good. I know it's not a lot of people up, but that's okay. Mm. Hey, Ren, how are you? Let me switch my settings. I want to talk about some stuff. Hey, TJ. Um, I'm eating breakfast. I am eating some. It looks nasty, but I am eating some cottage cheese, peaches, and seeds for fiber. Got to keep your fiber going and make sure your colon is cleansed out. Hey, Marie. Marie, is it cold in Chicago? If that's the Marie that I think it is. Hey, Jay. J Doll. Good morning. Mm. Why my lips look weird? So I want to talk about before we get started. Um, let me pull it up. So I talked about this about a year ago. I thought you was in Chicago. I knew you were somewhere up there. Okay. Gotcha. How you been? So there was this I had a conversation. I can't remember the context of the conversation. A couple of I think it was probably like a year ago or whatever. But I called it the it's like a concept of disrespectability politics. You know how we have respectability politics. Who is like respectability politics is who is able to be respected. Like, you know, and there's many aspects of it, like how you dress. If you dressing all slutty, then you're able to be disrespected, but you're not. It's almost like people are not allowed to respect you if you dress in a sexy way, if your boobs is out, if your cakes is out. Um, and so if you want to be respected, you got to act a certain way, you got to talk a certain way. So, if you're speaking AAVE or ghetto or super country where people can't understand you, um in a really really southern way, um then you're not speaking proper English, and so therefore they don't respect your intelligence. So that's dress, talk, how you look. If you're fat and not skinny, then I don't need to respect you because you fat. You're not even taking care of your body. So therefore, I don't need to respect you. So these are respectability politics. If you ghetto, if you poor, if you're not acting like you are a part of the upper class, if you don't have a certain level of education, if you all you got is a high school diploma and you didn't even go to college, you're not respectable. If you had more than one partner, if you're not a virgin and married, if you're married and um if you're married, you're respectable. If you got a high body count, you're disrespectful. Disrespect, you're not respectable. Um, so there's this thing about the status quo, how we supposed to live, how we're supposed to be, and if you fit those things, that comes with a level of privilege. Got what I'm saying? Um, and I think sometimes we can easily see it in other people, but it's really hard to see it in ourselves. So I remember there was a conversations about sexy red. So recently, my somebody in my family, I had posted something about sexy red. Well, it was about Nelly, and Nelly was talking about how people was all okay with with rappers talking that kind of hoe stuff, but when a real hoe show up like Sexy Red, then it's like this big old problem. And so I remember on the show we talked about Sexy Red and how people think because she's ghetto, and not, she got the lashes, she got the wigs and the baby hair. And I was kind of pushing back on my co-host, like, yo, like that is a certain type of black. That is a certain type of black girl that may be silenced because we're used to kind of pedestalizing. And not saying that this type of black girl, we're used to pedestalizing that the ghetto fabulous black girl. Like when we think about Little Kim era and Mary J. Blige, it's like it's still counter to the main white culture, but it is a certain alignment with high fashion and money that um that makes it acceptable. Like this is our black fashion. We take our Dapper Dan and we remake these fashion designers' clothes to make it fit our aesthetic, and it's still authentically black, but it's still aligned with high fashion and money in a certain way. It's almost saying like this is how black people do money. You feel what I'm saying? And so when you go to somebody like Sexy Red, who is just starting out, and she's giving you that kind of hood, authentically hood black girl with the baby hairs on the lace front wig and the lashes, and initially no makeup. Of course, when she gets popular, she's gonna go slowly into that kind of that high-end market too, because she's getting access to more money. But what makes people relate to her in the beginning is going to be that hood ghetto girl aesthetic. That is something that speaks to a certain demographic of people. When we think about what's the girl out of Memphis that she passed away, but she was like a rapper, a hood kind of rapper, um, Gangsta Boo. When we think about Gangsta Boo, when we think about um, old school Mia X, when we think about um, a lot of her posing for paparazzi is in a bonnet. Yes, absolutely. And so she represent a certain level of girl. And so there's go because of that type of aesthetic and that type of girl, it's easy for people to be like, oh, she too ghetto, she too this, she too that. And so I had a I had one of my family members come to me and talk about how my aunt um I had posted that post with Nelly talking about Sexy Red. And in the conversation, that it was Nelly's interview on Drink Champs. I didn't get this prepared, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it fast. If I don't, then I don't. But it was Nelly's interview with Drink Champs, and he was talking about Sexy Red. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, yes, here we go. So this is Nelly.
Music was cool until a real hoe showed up.
Minus the Lauryn Hills, minus the Queen Latifahs.
Real hoe music was cool until a real one showed up. Some real shit. Yeah, and then a real one showed up, and now everybody like, whoa, well, where you think it was going? Don't shit on our little sister now, cause she telling her truth. Y'all open the door for her to tell her truth. Hoe music was cool until a real hoe showed up.
So he's actually defending Sexy Red. He's like, yo, like she, like, don't be shitty on our little sister, because now you open the door for her to tell her truth, just like y'all was telling y'all truth. And that's what I was talking about, how it's a certain level of acceptability, respectability that can happen. And it's not saying this they're trying to be, there was a certain level that was accepted that was trying to be white, because it still was counter to the white status quo. But what I thought about in my brain. Good morning. What I thought about in my brain is when I don't know if he's white. I don't think he's white. He looks like Latino. I don't know who is the co-host for Drink Chat. I know the main host is Noriega, who I think is so sexy. Oh, I love Noriega as this host. You really get to see his personality. He is so sexy. His personality is so sexy. Anyway, I never really got into him as a rapper. It was like, but as a podcast host, he is so good. I'm like, you are really good at this. I really like watching him interview. Anyway, because he knows how to ask a provocative question, but not take up too much space, which I think is dope for a host. Anyway, so whoever the other host brought up Lauryn Hill and Queen Latifah. So my response to that, I shared it on my social media, and I said Lauryn Hill was a real hoe too, though. Like, they was positioning Sexy Red as something that was almost opposite as Lauryn Hill, because he was bringing up Lauryn Hill and Queen Latifah. And so I needed to push back on that, because Lauryn Hill was fucking somebody's husband. Wyclef was married when she was messing with Wyclef. Like, when they whole fiasco, and before she got with the Bob Marley son, and before she turned into that kind of new person and went off the grid and started doing something else, when she was in the Fugees and she was messing with Wyclef while she knew he was married, and so she was a side chick. And so by most standards, that's hoeing too. Maybe not hoeing as far as money, but you ain't no upstanding girl. So to position, and it's not shaming her, but to position Lauryn Hill as this kind of like good girl figure, no, that doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. And so you can't be fucking somebody's husband knowingly, and no, and trying to get him to leave his wife, or trying to be the side chick, and then put you on this pedestal as this good, wholesome motherfucker. No. And so I was calling that out. And then I said, and then you said Queen Latifah. I said, now, This isn't negative, but my point is to show that everybody is not perfect. And I said we can't romanticize these. I said this is what I said. I say Lauryn Hill was a real hoe too, though. She was fucking Wyclef's husband. Fucking somebody's husband. Wyclef was married. She was a side chick, and we can't romanticize these spiritual hoes either. Erykah Badu got 3 different baby daddies, and I'm not saying this as a problem for me. I'm saying is nobody is perfect in this sense. Nobody can live up to anybody's standard when it comes to that. I'm not tripping about Erykah Badu having 3 baby daddies. I'm just pointing it out as a hypocrisy when it comes to if you're trying to pedestalize these spiritual hoes because they're not perfect. And we don't know how, and when it comes to Queen Latifah, we don't know how many coochies Queen Latifah and MC Lyte was sucking on. We know they gay now. We know they was gay now and messing around now. But when they were hiding it, we don't know what kind of queer hoe shenanigans they was popping. We don't know what they was doing behind closed doors. And that's their business. But we know they gay now. And so what they were doing in the past, we don't know. We just finding out about it. So just the fact that we just finding out about it lets you know that they was doing some stuff and we didn't, and it wasn't our business. So they wasn't being perfect, goody two shoes chicks either. So my point was stop putting anybody on a pedestal because ain't nobody perfect. That's just how it is. Ain't nobody gonna fit no standard of who's a hoe, who not a hoe, who's a better hoe, who's a better woman. Ain't nobody gonna ever fit that standard because many people are falling short of it. Yes. So I posted that. So y'all following me? So I posted that. Spiritual hoes. Yeah, we spiritual girls do. Yes, child. We know how that works. We coochies be getting ate and dicks be getting sucked. Honey, and we free women doing what we want to do, and that's okay. So I posted that. And this is how I really, when I go off on people in my family, I've been really reserved in going off on my family because it's almost like I don't really give a fuck. Cause it's like your life is boring. Your life is either boring or you're struggling when it comes to love. You're struggling when it comes to opportunity. You usually are just out here being a fucking loser. And so why would I get hyped up about anything you say because you're a loser? That's usually how I feel, and I'm still in that mindset, but I'm just talking about it to y'all because y'all my people. So we just talking about it and get it out, just to get it off my chest. So I posted that about Nelly speaking about Sexy Red and talking about hoes and all that kind of stuff. Now, last time I said something about my family, I got in trouble. And rightfully so. I should have got in trouble. I was sharing somebody's business that shouldn't be shared. And my people called me out. And they were right. I'm not saying that they were wrong. They were right, but it wasn't my business to share. And I felt like since y'all don't know my people, I felt like it was still anonymous. But my little cousins was like, "Cuz, come on. That's their business to share. You shouldn't be sharing it on the platform." Totally, they were totally right. And so I edited it out. I edited it out of the video. But this, I'm not editing it out. So if you're watching and you didn't know, this is not getting edited out. And I don't want to hear no shit. So here we go. So I have my little cousin calls me and she says, "Cuz I had to defend you the other day with my mom." And I was like, "Wow, what's up?" And she was like, "Yeah, you posted something about Sexy Red and Sexy and Nelly." And I was like, "Oh, what was wrong with that?" And so apparently her mother my aunt, apparently her mother had something to say about me saying that. Something very, transphobic. Something along the lines of, because I'm not a biological woman, I'll never understand what it's like and how people like Sexy Red makes other women look bad, and that level of not having class. Now, why this is ironic, is because this is a woman who has had multiple abortions. Listen, I'm not saying that abortions are bad. I am pro-choice. I ain't got no dog in the fight, but I'm pro-choice. This is not a bad thing. Only time that I bring it up is when it's from women who try to judge other women. It's the only time I bring it up, because you can't sit and talk down on other women when you out here with a pussy full of carcasses, with a pussy full of dead spirits that you done killed, with a coochie full of a coochie as a cemetery between your legs. You cannot judge anybody about anything when it especially me. You're trying to pedestalize your biologicalness as this amazing things that I'll never understand, when you don't even respect the vagina that you got from God. The vagina that you put on a pedestal, that pushes me out of womanhood, the biology that pushes me out of womanhood that you're trying to down me about, you don't even respect it, bitch. You don't even respect it. Your fucking coochie is a haunted house with spirits running around it. Your pussy look like a house in the middle of Halloween. Ghosts, 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 ghosts. Your fucking pussy look like a Ghostbusters box with nothing but ghosts in it trying to get out. You don't even respect your coochie. You don't even respect your biology. You don't even value it. Coochie given a Casper movie in the 90s. And what's wild about this particular aunt is that she loves to talk crazy and talk down on people, including her daughters. Multiple, multiple. And like I said, have as many as you need. That it's not about having them or having more than having many as you need. But I think it takes you out of the of the space to judge anybody. That's my point. It's not that you had them or I want you to be shamed about having them. No. No, 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 no. I want that to be very clear. It's not about being shamed about having them or having them. It's about once you have fixed a mistake that you done made or done these things that people can judge as negative, you can't put yourself on a pedestal like you fucking Mother Teresa. You should be real motherfucking humble when it comes to talking about people, and having respectability politics. Because that take you out of that perfection, baby. It takes you out of that, but you literally don't have enough. You just don't have enough to be up to stand on if you out here hoeing for free. That's another thing. Y'all love to talk about hoes, and you out here doing the same thing hoes is doing for free. You ain't even making no money. You ain't even making no money. You a free hoe. You chasing a husband. And the crazy part of, okay, so we talked about the abortions. The other thing, two of the main relationships in your life for years, the men were married the whole time you was with them. Two of your children, you don't even know who the father is. It could be either one of two niggas, your husband or your side nigga. And your side nigga got a wife. So you a side chick that don't know who your baby daddy is. If that's not classic hoe stuff, ghetto, low class, the stuff that you talking about, that you speaking down on, you fit that narrative. I bet you if you ask the wives of those women, are you one of the people that you talking negatively about Sexy Red? You talking about Sexy Red, and if you ask the wives of the dudes, now mind you, Coco, I ain't got, I don't be making stuff up. The reason why I know this is another thing, and I know gay people can relate to this, trans people can relate to this. When you are like us, when you are kind of like the outcast black sheep, people come and confess their most darkest sins to you because they look at you and say, "Oh, you're not going to judge me." And so they tell you everything. So I know and I'm not going to judge you. And I'm not gonna judge you because who am I to judge? What does old boy say? Who who are me to judge? Who am I to judge? I'm not gonna judge you. I'm the trans sex working person. I'm not gonna judge you. So they come to us and tell us all their business and tell it to us because they want to talk through it because in their regular lives they're too busy putting on airs, trying to put on an image of perfection, and that gets heavy on your spirit. And so when they find somebody that they can be open and real about everything, they tell you everything. So I know about all the abortions. And so it gagged me when her daughter needed one. She was judging and making her daughter feel guilty. Bitch, what? And it's because you didn't tell your daughters that you experienced it. You didn't tell your daughters that you experienced it. You just wanted to judge them. You just wanted to judge them. You wanted to be on a pedestal. So you've been making it seem like you've never had any when you have had multiple. And I know it because I'm grown. I was there. So that, and then you sleeping with all these people's husbands. Your main boyfriends had wives. Like, they had wives. We ain't. Your main boyfriend had wives. So the abortion, then you being a side chick. Let's add another element to it. You homophobic and transphobic, but you a dyke. Like, you a bisexual. You done been with women by theyself, in threesomes, and by theyself. So you got all these marks of imperfection, and I'm just sharing these things. It's just wild to me that you can talk negatively about me. And tell me that I don't understand, because I'll never be able to understand, because I was not born a woman. But you, born a woman, can't even have the empathy for another woman doing what she got to do to survive in this world, whether it be hoeing, whether it be hood ratchet shit, whatever you think is respectability politics. You don't even have a grace for other women, and you was born one. You don't even have grace for other women, and you were born one. So that goes back to, you don't even respect your biology, and you don't even respect the women who do have the biology. You can't even show them grace. You can't even be empathetic to their plight in the world, because you got a little degree, because you got chose one time. And that's another thing. You love to throw in that you, at least you had a husband. Girl, many of us niggas, getting a ring and getting married ain't that hard if you take a sorry ass nigga. And you, my dear, took a sorry ass nigga who cheated on you the whole marriage, who you were chasing. You were moving all over the country with your children. I had to come help you babysit. Moved all the way to fucking um Jacksonville with no family support, chasing a nigga who didn't want you. And he moved to Jacksonville. You chasing him there. And then when you moved there, he moved to Virginia. I gotta come help you. But you want to be talking shit about me. So you proud of a marriage, but he's sorry. Ain't nobody picked you that's worth nothing. Each one of the people in your life picked somebody else and left you. Every single nigga in your life, every single one, picked somebody else and left you. You old, almost 60, knocking on 60 alone. Your kids barely even like you. So what did all that fronting and stunting get you? What did all that faking the funk and acting like you a good girl and respectable, what did it all get you? Let me tell you what the choice of being me got me. Comfort. I ain't fronting for nobody. I'm just being me. Am I back now? I think it should be back now. Yeah, so you don't even have any friends. You don't have any friends. Your kids barely like you. You, I, me making the decision to be me, I ain't got a front on nobody. I ain't got a front to people. I can be broke. I can be rich. I can be whatever I want to be. I can be my authentic self. I don't have the pressures of putting on no kind of front to nobody because I'm going to have the people who love me in my life or not. You don't even have any friends. With that biology, with that natal born coochie, you got all this stuff that you are pedestalizing that you really don't care about. And what did you get out of it? You didn't get no man that cared for you. You was too busy chasing other niggas, other women's men. You didn't get no man. You didn't get no husband that was faithful to you ever. All the men that chose you left you. All the men that chose you left you. Left you to take care of babies. Your first baby, you dropped off to your grandma. He was being taken care of by his daddy and his grandma while you was in college being a hoe, getting abortions. Let's talk about that. Did you tell him about that? Did you tell your daughters that you was judging about that? Or nah? So it's just a gag. It's a gag. It's a gag. The sociology always trumps the biology. I think it's important. I think that's everything, sociology, biology, all that is important. But don't make it seem like it's this. Don't make it seem like it's this mystical, spiritual, magical thing that nobody ever understands. While you shit on it every chance you get, you don't even respect it. That is what I'm. You don't even follow these kind of respectability politics around being a woman that you're trying to put on and project on other people. You don't even follow. You don't even follow. You had a baby at 16. Once again, I want you to be want you to. I'm not saying that I am judging teen parents. I support them. I love them. My mom was a teen parent. What I'm saying is that when you do things that takes you out of the respectability politics, it should humble you to have grace and empathy for other people who are in that experience. So if you have a baby at 16, you cannot be judging somebody out here giving their coochie up early. You was giving your coochie up. And that doesn't mean that you can't say, don't be a dummy like me. It's really, really hard. That still has a standard of it's empathy. Like, I want to teach you, girl, that this might not be the route you went. Me having a baby at 16, it was hard. I don't consider that judging. I think that's you being now an elder and teaching the new generation. Like, ooh, it gets kind of tough. It's not that you can't survive it, but it was tough for me because I had a baby at 16 and da 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 da. I think that there's a level in the under subtext is empathy in that you want to make sure that they're doing you maybe have a choice to do something different. I don't think that that's wrong. I think that when you are looking down on them and making it seem like they don't have value, and in making it seem like they are not deserving of love, respect, and fame, or whatever opportunity they get, just because you don't see them as respectable for being the type of girl that they are. All while you had a baby at 16. All while you was out here hoeing. All while you was out here being a side chick. All while you was sleeping with people's husbands. All while you was having abortions. That's when it becomes, girl, what? So it's not about doing it. It's about you doing it and then being hypocritical. It's the hypocrisy in it that pisses me off. Now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Am I tripping? I don't think I'm tripping. I think that makes sense for you not to be a hypocrite. I don't make sense to me. Makes sense to me. So I wanted to talk about that. And I wanted to talk about how this led to something else. So I talked about this like disrespectability politic and da 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 da, all that kind of stuff. So I think that there is a respectability politics that privileges people who live up to the status quo. They do the hair, they do all the things that go to school, all the things I was talking about earlier. They do all the perfect stuff that people think is perfect. And that comes with privileges. That opens up doors for you. That's just how the world is. You get the right degree, you dress the right way, you look the part. Some of these things you can do and earn them, and some of these things you don't have to do nothing to earn them. Just because you're light skinned, just because you're a white girl, just because you're blonde, just because you got blue eyes, just because whatever, just because you're slender, just because you get these things that you can't control, that is just natural in you, and people privileges them. But what we have seen on the internet, and I don't think I think I think this goes back to like Barnum and Bailey circus. Like when we go back to like the freak shows, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but I'm just giving y'all something to chew on and something to think about. So just like there is a respectability politic when it comes to these things that you can be, there is a counterculture that can be just as beneficial, kind of like disrespectability politics. And I think Sexy Red falls into this, but I think there's other people who fall into this, like people who get famous on the internet for negative things, or negative things that they can't control, or things is just so abnormal that it just gets them famous, like Shamar, like Miss Netta, some trans people. Just because they trans, they popular because they're not very smart, or they're not very whatever, and they get popular just because they're trans. Um, um, They who else? Who name some people who y'all, it's like being infamous. Yes, 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 yes. I don't like using infamous because infamous implies that there is a negative. And I don't think that some of these things are negative. I'm watching a show recently that is quite beautiful. It's a beautiful show. It's called Jay and Pamela. Jay and Pamela, and it's two I don't know what the condition they have. I can't remember the name of it because it's a hard word, but I think it's called OI. I think it's called OI. Um, that's the abbreviation. But they are in wheelchairs and they have that kind of condition where their bones break easy, so they don't grow really tall. And they're a couple. It's a black boy named Jay and a Latina girl named Pamela, and it just came out. I love them. It is so adorable. Y'all probably have seen some of the videos floating around to advertise it. I've been watching the show, and they gag you, and Jay is actually trans. When I first started watching, I didn't even get that tea. I wasn't even expecting it because they don't tell you on the first little they don't tell you in the beginning. You just see it's on TLC, but I watch it on my little bootleg, my little piracy app. My little piracy link. Um Trans in real life. No, this is a real life. This is a reality TV show. He's in real life. And so her parents are not accepting of their marriage because he is trans. And so they haven't talked to her in like 4 years? Talk to her in 4 years because when they meet each other, they both have the same condition. And so they connect and they meet each other, baby. He comes to see her, and then she moves in with him and his mom, who was accepting of everything. It's a whole show. Y'all need to watch it. It's so good. Y'all need to watch it. I think they're either one episode in or two episode ins. I love it. It kind of scares me a little bit too, because it's like you fall in love with these people and then what if they pass away or something? It's like, ooh, I'm gonna be so devastated. Anyway, because they be having medical conditions too. And then you done fell in love with them and their love and their romantic story. And oh, it kind of scares me a little bit. But it doesn't mean it's negative. Do you see what I'm saying? So infamy kind of makes me feel like there's a negative connotation. Like Ted Bundy is infamous. He's a serial killer. He's infamous because of some negative stuff that he did. I don't like to call it infamous. Because there's like does it make sense? Because infamy kind of makes it Hitler is infamous. Yeah, it's just and there might be a thin line, but when it's about just something that they can't control and it's no kind of negative, I don't like to call that infamous. I don't know what other word. I can't think of another word that it would be. But they're famous because they're contrary. Yes, contrarian. They're famous because they are contrary to that respectability stuff, or they're contrary to what is like. Would we really think that Winnie Harlow was beautiful if Winnie Harlow didn't have vitiligo? Would we? Like if she was a regular girl without vitiligo and she had her regular skin, would she be that sickening? I don't think so. Would we be infatuated with her look if she didn't have vitiligo? I don't think so. I think but because she does have it, because she does have it, it made me feel like it made her special. And so it's contrary to what you expect. It's that kind of unique standout thing. And so and then people's personalities, and it's just this thing that we laugh, especially if it's somebody that we can laugh at. And I'm not talking about laugh with, sometimes it's laugh at. I just said that, but I was scared that you would block me. You just said what? Scared? Said what? What did I say that you agree with? Um, it's like, it's like, yeah, it's when we think about Shamar, apparently Tyra Banks discovered Winnie on Instagram. I can believe that. Um, it's It's I know y'all can name some people. Even the dude that's the delivered dude, Andrew Codwell, Shamar is one. I think Miss Netta is one. I think the one that says, these nuts got him with the big overbite teeth. I think we make some of these people popular to laugh at them. Y'all remember the girl who is like JJ Fish? It has been happening really, really commonly on the internet. Um, um, y'all remember that girl that used to do the dancing, but she was really ill built, like she didn't have no thighs and no booty, but she had like rolls here and a wide back, and she used to do the dancing. Um, but it's people, I don't think people are laughing with them. I think people are laughing at them. And because they're getting views, these people don't mind. Is that her name? I don't know her name, but she used to dance in these kind of like white tank tops and real short shorts, and she'll just dance and they'll be getting views, but and so they'll continue to exploit themselves. And this is why I said it goes back to Barnum and Bailey Circus, because I think that, those people, because they weren't getting opportunities in other arenas of life, they created a career at the circus. The bearded lady, the midgets, the people who are outside of the norm, but they can't control it. They just like, oh, I'm not getting any opportunities anywhere. So, I'm about to be in the circus. I think that we are seeing that online. I think that the same decisions that makes a dwarf in the 30s and 40s join the circus, the lady with PCOS that we didn't have the science backing about it yet, but she got a whole bearded lady, her going to the circus and working and making at least money. I mean, Lizzo, before weight loss was that, the shock value was based on her being plus size. I think Lizzo and Sydney Starr aren't a good example of it. I think that it can, I think that these don't, they do, but they don't. They don't fit comfortably in what I'm talking about. They do, but they don't. I see why you would think that, but it just, how do I explain why they don't fit? First of all, Lizzo is talented. She wasn't just fat. There's tons of fat girls who are fat. So it's not just their fatness. um I don't find maybe Sydney would fit. I don't think Lizzo fits. Yeah, I don't think Lizzo fits. Sydney fits more. I just feel like Lizzo is talented. There's tons of fat girls, and people are not coming to Lizzo's show just to see her be fat. I don't think so. And people weren't, prior to her exposure, people were fucking with Lizzo because she had made good music. Now, did she come at a perfect time where people would be celebrating her being big in the culture, because we were in this renaissance of, we're not being transphobic, we're not being fat phobic, did she come at a perfect time where the culture was accepting of her bigness? in a world that is fatphobic, yes, I think that is I think that that's true, but her talent prepared her to become the star that she is. It's kind of like when we think about if I'm to be frank, when we think about like think about rappers and colorism. I don't colorism is going to be a part of it. That's going to be an element of it. But there are some people who, bitch, I'm like, you only on here, you only famous because you light skinned and cute, but you ain't really got no talent. When I look at Sweetie, but then when I look at Lotto, does colorism affect both of their careers? Yes. When I look at Sweetie and Ice Spice, y'all, they ain't got no talent. I don't think so. Sweetie, Ice Spice, y'all ain't got no talent. But when I look at Lotto and Nikki, who else? Light skinned girls who got a career, rappers. Um, I don't consider. I know people do, but I don't consider Megan light skin. I don't consider her like. I think she brown. I don't know. I think I consider her brown, but everybody has a different what is light skin, what's not light skin, or whatever. But most people is gonna know that Lotto and Ice Spice are light skinned girls. Doja Cat. Doja Cat is a perfect. When I think of Doja and when I think of um and Lotto, I think they're talented enough to where yeah, colorism might help them, but they talented. It ain't just the only thing that that got them to where they are. When I think of a Sweetie, when I think of an Ice Spice, I don't listen to Mariah enough to know anything about her. So when I think about you get what I'm saying, there are some people who this particular thing about you got you to the level that you are. And then there's some people it's like, I'm not saying that it didn't help you, but your talent took you further. You know what I'm saying? All these light skinned hoes, because of how colorism works, it's gonna benefit them in some kind of way. But there are some of light skinned hoes that are talented. And so their talent and the privilege of their color made it worse. Beyonce. So Lizzo is somebody who I think that, yeah, she big, and we was in a time where we were celebrating big, 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 but she had a talent to match where she was going. You can just say Drake. I think Drake is talented. Oh, this goes into another conversation. I haven't chewed on this long enough to fully think it through, but y'all can help me. Y'all making me think about another conversation that has been rumbling through my head. Um, one of the byproducts of our shit, and when I say our, I mean black folks shit. One of the byproducts of that is at the intersection of exposure that the internet brings and our shit becoming mainstream we're going when our shit becomes mainstream, think about rap, think about how we sing. There are going to be people who fuck with it and learn how to do it. That's why we're getting exposed. When we were younger, somebody who sings to the level of a Whitney, who sings to the level of a Kiki Wyatt, when somebody who sings at that like pristine, high quality level, it was uncommon for you to meet. Meeting a singer, sure, but that kind of like, whoa, that anointing. You usually only heard that in church. And it was only a couple of people that could do it. But because of the internet, we know so many good ass singers, like even like the Tina Marie's of the world. We are seeing so many. Think about big girl Mackenzie. I don't remember her last name, but Mackenzie, she was on The Voice and she big redhead girl. Mackenzie, that Tina Marie moment was like, oh, this white girl can sing, because we weren't used to seeing that because they weren't fucking with us. And so we didn't see, white girls didn't sing like that. But nowadays, we are seeing white girls who grew up on soul music, who grew up on church music. It's a difference between a white girl who listened to just the popular soul music like Aretha Franklin and da 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 da, but motherfucker that who lived in the canon of no, I'm talking about white girls who lived in the canon of Karen Clark Sheard, Kim Burrell, and Yolanda Adams, who lived in that kind of soulful church canon, who lived it, who went to churches that were accepting, who listened to that music, who hear it. We are getting exposed to this generation who was exposed to that. Definitely not Adele. Definitely Yebba, but definitely not Adele. Adele is not who I'm talking about. Adele is like Sam Smith. They can sing. It's not saying that they can't sing. They can sing, but they don't have what I'm talking about. JoJo, Tori, yes. Is a time, yes. For a time that thought JoJo and Tori was an anomaly. I'm talking about Tori. Tori Kelly is not a white girl though. She's Latinx, but it's, I guess, I don't know. I think she's Latin, but I guess she can't be a white girl, a Latin white girl. Anyway, but Tori Kelly's, the JoJo's, the Yebbas. I don't consider Adele in that camp. Christina Aguilera, yes. Do you see the difference, Elizabeth, of what I'm talking about? Adele isn't in the Yebba, JoJo, Tori, Christina Aguilera camp. She has an amazing voice, but how she sings is different. Is not aligned with churchy black folks singing in the way that Yebba, JoJo, Tori, and Christina is. That kind of the running, they're not. She's not aligned with that in that way. I don't hear it in her voice. She can sing, yeah, she can sing, but she just doesn't have that kind of American churchy, where you can tell that they listen to some church folks. Not as soulful, but moving voice, yes. I think somebody that's in the middle of those people and Adele would be like that Kelly Clarkson, Jessie J. Yes, I see Jessie J is in that camp. And so why I say that is I am seeing, we are exposed to those kind of white girls who can sing. But it's not, I'm just using the white girls as an example because we have that kind of classic Tina Marie example of, oh, when Tina Marie's love them and leave them, when she was giving that hooping and hollering, that was sickening to us. But now, a white girl who can sing don't fucking impress me, girl. Unless she just got like a some uniqueness in her voice. We done seen hoes that can sing. We done seen a couple of y'all that can sing. What's different about it? We got our Celine Dion's. We got a, you get what I'm saying? We got a bunch of y'all out. So what's different? I think that people being able to sing, people being able to sing like us, because it has gotten Ariana Grande can sing, but she kind of in that Kelly Clarkson. They're because of the mainstreamness of our stuff. That is common. That is so common. We don't. I'm not gagged when I hear white girls who can sing. We got that, and so it is not a surprise that a Eminem would come up, a Canadian rapper like Drake would come up. It's not a surprise that eventually will happen, because they are raised listening to what is now becoming mainstream hip hop. Hip hop was an underground thing that had become mainstream. And there are some people who have lived through a time where hip hop has always been mainstream in their life. And so they have been listening and learning how to rap and using their skills on how to rap and have a cadence and have rhymes and be this exquisite artist. And so when they come up and they're white, like a Eminem, or they're not from America, like a Drake, they have the skill to do it. And so they get popular because now it is not an underground thing that only Black people are gatekeeping who can be on the top of it. Now it's at the pop charts and everybody get to, the sales and everybody who's buying it get to put their tea into it. And low key, I think this is indicative of what we are considering trans right now. It used to be really gatekept. But now that it's getting exposure, all these other type of trans that always existed, but all these other type of trans is coming in and adding their 2 cents and their spice. And so it's like people who used to be able to gatekeep and say, no, you're not trans enough, they don't have the power to do that anymore. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. But that's the truth, y'all. When a culture becomes popular, it gets to shifting and shaking. And people who normally would be pushed out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Who would normally be pushed out get to have a say, because the public get to say, ooh, I like them though. Even a chart-topping white Afrobeat singer that everyone is going up for. And I'm like, whoa. It's that's what it is. Every ghetto all over the world now plays Biggie, Tupac, Bob Marley, Whitney Houston. I was in a suburb which was white in Australia playing Tupac. Oh, let me go get my drink. 1 second. Yeah, I think that is totally true. Totally true, darling. Oh, yeah. Do you reckon Black American culture is getting gentrified? You can call it that. But I think it's natural, though, y'all. I think it's natural. I think we are a part of the fabric of America, darling. And so there ain't nothing that we don't influence and touch. There's an osmosis that is going to naturally happen no matter how much we try to gatekeep it, because we are in this country and a part, not just in this country. We're not some foreign thing. I don't think of ourselves as some foreign thing in this country anymore. When our ancestors 6 generations ago, yes, there's some foreign thing that been brought to this country. But I'm talking about right now. We are part of the fabric of this country, just like Irish Americans and Jewish Americans and anybody else who came, but not anybody, everybody outside of Native Americans who came here, and now we have created this thing. We are a part of this thing. We're not just some foreign thing. We are American. We are a part of this culture. And naturally there is going to be an osmosis of give and take. We got half of the Black people trying to live up to the status quo, quiet luxury, going to the suburbs, sending their kids off to white schools just to become little Black white little kids, live the culture, and wonder why all they fucking grandkids is biracial, because you took them and put them in this all white school. And I'm not judging you, not judging you, because you wanted a better life for your kids, but you you sent your kids to this school that is going to just train them and indoctrinate them up into anti-Blackness just because you wanted to give them a better life. And so they go and find a white girl or find a Black white boy and make babies that's biracial. So good. Love that. God, that's so good. But there is so that's one half, and then the other half is doing the opposite. They're trying to be Pan-Africans and teach you about Black history and forces you into old school Black stuff that never really grows, that don't give it enough room to do anything else, or it's not Black, it's not authentic. Both of these extremes is problematic because it doesn't allow growth. This one doesn't allow growth, and this one is going into assimilation, so it doesn't allow growth either. You grow into whiteness. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's just kind of the state of where we are. That's just, it's no way to get around it. Yeah. So I want to also talk about, I just talk about stuff. I just talk about stuff to. All right, so do y'all know Mona from Don't Call Me White Girl? She has a podcast called Don't Call Me White Girl. and I watch her podcast. I like her. I think she's funny. So on the show, she brought Sexy Lexi on the show. So I love Mona. Yes. So Sexy Lexi is I want to say she's not a new trans girl. She's been out, but she hasn't been on the internet. So she's kind of just becoming popular. She a new kind of celebrity. She's kind of a new celebrity internet personality trans person. Sexy Lexi. She's just kind of getting her bearings. She started her podcast. She's had these kind of viral videos of her talking about her whole days. Very old school, very old school trans woman, very in line with like she reminds me of a young T.S. Madison. When we first met T.S. Madison, she reminds me of, even though they're around the same age. Well, no. We're all in the same age bracket, like late 30s, early 40s, that kind of stuff, within a 10-year range period. So she goes on Mona. She goes on Don't Call Me White Girl. And a lot of times we put people in some bizarre universe. I imagine Dr. Umar and Candace Owens would be a perfect couple and have kids. Really? I don't see them as aligned at all. Like, first of all, Dr. Umar doesn't take care of his kids. That's number one. And Candace ain't going for that. Candace, there's an investment in the white status quo that Candace is invested in that Dr. Umar is not. Dr. Umar is your classic male patriarch. Candace is not a classic any type of woman, nothing. She is aligned with whiteness in a way that is not like Dr. Umar. Umar is pro-black in his pro-black maleness. Candace Owens is not pro-black in her black womanhood. She is not. Like they are two, like they wouldn't, unless you're just making up a universe. Well, I guess that's what it is. Makes it bizarre. But yeah, they don't align to me. They both can be problematic, but I would fuck with Dr. Umar before I would fuck with Candace. There's a difference. I feel like Dr. Umar is a part of the community. He's the problematic uncle. I don't feel like I'm a part of Candace's community at all. Dr. Umar, I don't call that nigga doctor. Umar. Umar. I feel like he's a part of the black community. I don't find him to be assimilating two black extremes, two black and assimilating whiteness. Yeah, I don't see anything connecting with them. But I guess if you're just saying it, cool. What you think of Flame and Row? I've shared what I think of Flame and Row many times. So I want to play this clip of I want to say what I say. I got distracted by the Umar and Candace thing. So sometimes it's not shade. It is sometimes we put people on a pedestal that don't have the range to talk about the complexities of some of the stuff we want them to talk about. They don't have the intellectual prowess to talk about things in the way that we need them to talk about, but because they have a good personality, a funny personality, we put them on a pedestal and expect them to have the range to talk about the stuff, these complex ideas that they don't have the range. Like, and let's take it we're about to talk about it in the context of trans people, but let's talk about it in the context of, men, black men. When we think about, we look at some of these celebrities, the Cam Newton, the athletes, Cam Newton's, all these athletes who have these podcasts. These niggas was not top of their class. The ones that were top of their class, like intellectually, They don't be having podcasts. But the ones that are nothing, when we think about Charleston White, exactly. When we think about Club Shay Shay, when we think about Cam Newton, when we think about, well, who's the Crowder dude, the light-skinned dude with the other brown dude. I don't know their name because I'm not into sports, but they be going viral on some of their shows when they have other athletes on there. The one of them said he don't even be washing his tail all the time. Something, is it Crowder or something? I think the light-skinned one name is Crowder or something. Anyway, they be on the shows. They be on the last time they went viral was the interview they did with Simone Biles' husband, when he said that he didn't even know her. And we were like, sir, okay. And he said he's the prize. That show, whatever that show was. So they now have these platforms because they are popular, and they've left their career and they want something else to do. So they're opening up, they're starting these shows, and they got popular with the men based on their athleticism, but they didn't have the intellectual prowess, and they don't have the intellectual range to talk about some of the stuff that comes up in conversation. And so we see we see Cam Newtons, and we just see these people who are dumb as a box of rocks talking about stuff, and we like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And sometimes we like that with our girls, honey. There are some girls who y'all expecting them, and I don't want them to have opportunity. I want them to have opportunity, but y'all have to give them grace to understand that some of them just don't have it. Yes, the Pivot Podcast. Yes, thank you, YouTube. Some of them just don't have it, and it's not to have enough grace to just let them say anything. You can, like Elon Musk and Trump. Period. For sure. But some of them just don't have the range, and it doesn't mean that we can't push back on them, but you just gotta just know that the expectation shouldn't be there. And I wanted to share this moment. So this is Mona. This is Mona. This is Sexy Lexi on the show with Mona. All right. Did y'all watch the interview with Sexy Lexi and Mona? If y'all are fans. But this is the show. And this is her.
Women hate the fact that the cisgender is a thing.
Like the wording for it, I don't like it either, though. I'm not gonna lie. What is a cis? Only cis I know is this bump that you bust and it got pus in it.
I mean, literally.
All right.
I
want to stop it right there, right off the bat. So wait. She continues. I'm gonna talk about more.
Right, like I just don't get it. Like, I am a cisgendered woman. I don't know what's the big deal about.
I think you know what I think it is. I hate it too because we didn't have all of these type terminologies back then. You was either gay or you was a lesbian. One or the other. Cisgender woman. All of this new stuff to keep adding letters on to the LGBTQ LMNOP. It's just a new thing every day. Now it's non-binary. It's just so much that's going on.
It was a time. Where two people had this conversation, this is how it went. I hate that they keep letting come in our hardware store. They need to get their nails around the corner, dirty mother. You see what I'm saying? Progression is just what it is, and it has to happen so we can get along with each other. You understand? It was a time, could not figure out why I had to sit in a movie theater with this. I did a comedy show over the.
How is the cisgender woman wearing you out in this concept? This is a cis girl. You the trans girl, and she's trying to explain to her audience that cisgender is not a big deal, and your response is, I don't like it either. Only cis I know is the bump that got the pus in it. What the fuck are you talking about? That is intellectually lazy. and you just add in all the letters, the A, B, C, L, M, N, O, P. That is Dave Chappelle jokes, the alphabet people. You are the trans person on this Cis Girls podcast, and that is what you got to add to the conversation. And then you got the nerve to sit here and say that back in our day, it was only gay and lesbian, and you a whole trans woman. It was not just gay and lesbian. It was trans people too. And you know they was back in the day. How are you that silly? It wasn't just gay and lesbian. Oh, back in our day, it was just gay or lesbian. No, it wasn't. And even if it was, it's 2005. We need new language for people coming up. Why are you on this platform and you on this huge platform saying this stupid, ignorant shit? Why is that? I don't understand it. I'm a girl from back in the day. This type of pandering to cis people is shit that annoys the fuck out of me. And I want the girls to have opportunity, but get educated on that shit before you get up there talking and sounding fucking stupid. Get educated on it. I'm not non-binary. I'm not gonna be non-binary. But I don't need to shit on them. I'm not a part of the other letters. I'm a Q and a T. I consider myself a Q and a T, but the A and the I and the whatever, I don't need to shit on them for being added. How many letters was added? Let's do the what's the because this is how dumb it is. What's the acronym? LGBTQIA plus. All right, you might think that's too much, but it's literally how many letters was added? Let's dumb it down for the idiots. How many letters was added? Let me type it in here. LGBTQ. All right. All right. So the LGBT, simple, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans. Now, if you ask a bisexual motherfucker, they will tell you bi has been erased a lot of times. But, and as a trans person, we've been fighting to get seen in the LGBT for years. But now we got other people because we are starting to be seen. The bis and the trans are starting to be seen. Other people is like, hey, we want to be seen too. What's the A? What's the A stand for? So what's extra? The Q, the I, the A, and the plus. Okay, so somebody tell me what the Q stand for. Super, super easy. It could be some people use two different words. It could be queer or it can be questioning. Okay? It could be queer or questioning. Questioning means there's people who is kind of questioning who they are. They know they're not straight, but they don't know where they land in the labeling. Okay? Labeling doesn't always work, but it helps in certain situations for you to understand what's going on with people. I'm okay with being labeled the T. Some people are not. Got it? Some people are okay with being labeled lesbian. Some people are not. So questioning. Queer. Queer means other. Just something different that may not fall into other labels. What's I? Bam. People are answering. Intersex, 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 intersex. Why is intersex included? There are some intersex people who do not want to be included, and there are some intersex people who do want to be included. And that's okay for them to choose that. But the people who do want to be included, they the I. It ain't that difficult. Why? Because they fall outside of what normal quote unquote normal genitalia is when it comes to their body, how their body kind of manifested, how their chromosomes manifested. Now, this is controversial. I think we all intersex, but that's controversial. The traditional idea of intersex is they physically manifested outside of the norm in regard to their genitalia. So some of them, they have to transition. They could be born more closer to the female genitalia, but they feel more closer to men. And so they transition. So they consider themselves the T or just a part of the community, period. Because they can't be straight or they can't be whatever. So that's something that an intersex person has. There's many videos of them talking about their experiences, documentaries about them. You can sit and learn about them. You can sit and listen to them, listen to their stories. This is what we do, what we ask about ourselves. If you're a Black person, we ask you to come listen to us when we talk about shit that's going on in our lives. So they are exactly like that. Intersex people want you to understand their plight. So when these mother crazy buffoons in our government are making laws about their body, you understand the choices and restrictions that is being put on them so you can understand what's going on in their lives. Listen to the people. They're out here. That you can Google on YouTube. That's one of the most popular search engines. Intersex people, stories, documentaries. Listen to people so you can learn about it. So if you're on a podcast and need to explain the I, you understand what's going on with the I. What's the A? What's the A? People are answering asexual, 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 asexuality. Yes. What does asexual means? Let's practice a little bit. Let me cut my phone on. Okay, Google. What is asexual?
According to Wikipedia, asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction to others, or low or absent interest in or desire for sexual activity. It may be considered a sexual orientation or the lack thereof. It may also be categorized more widely, to include a broad spectrum of asexual sub-identities.
Was that difficult to understand? They ain't feeling none of you motherfuckers sexually. They ain't turned on by none of you motherfuckers, or it's low. They don't really be, while everybody else got a sexuality, I don't feel that. It ain't at the center. It's low. It's either not there or I just don't be feeling that shit. Nah. Pretty easy. Why is it in this? The LGBTQIA, da 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 da. Why is it in that? Because it is a sexuality, even though it's lacking. It is in the realm of sexuality. And then some people will say, well, why is it T? They ain't got nothing to do with sexuality. Because it is a part of the gender non-conforming group. because there is a rules about how you're supposed to navigate in this world if you were assigned male at birth, if you were assigned female at birth. And if you're going outside of that, you are not conforming to your gender. And so all of us are a part of that gender non-conforming group. Some of us, it's just about sexuality, the sexual orientation. And some of us, it's about our identity, our gender identity. And some of us, we are gay and lesbians, even though we're trans. This is like 101 level shit that you can learn. And just because we're learning about it now doesn't mean that we weren't grappling and trying to understand it back then. There were non-binary people in the 60s and 70s and 80s and the 90s. They were back then too, but we were just trying to assimilate. So we didn't give them room to be anything else. The culture hadn't shifted enough to give them room to be anything else. So while my binary self was okay with being just a woman, just a trans woman, there was some people who was like, I know I'm not this straight people, normal cisgender stuff, but I'm also not that either. They were back then too. It wasn't just today. Just because we're talking about it today and we're giving them a platform to talk about it doesn't mean that it did not exist. So we cannot do what cisgender people are doing to us. How many times have we seen cisgender people? Hey, Obatala. How many times do we see cisgender people saying, what's up with all this trans stuff? Where did this come from in the past 10 years? Bitch, I've been out since 94. What you talking about? Stonewall happened in the 60s. What you talking about? Compton cafeteria riots happened in the 60s. What you talking about? Polly Murray happened in the 40s. She was going to her doctors trying to get on hormones in the 40s. Lucy Henderson, absolutely. What's happening in the 40s too. Francis Thompson was happening in 1870. What you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? And so when you have a trans person getting on a show pandering to cis people, that's a problem. And and we're supposed to call you out about it. We love you, sis. We want you to have opportunities. But you can't get on these shows and be ignorant, because that does more harm than it does for us, than it does help us. Especially when you on this show with a cis woman that gets it. You on a show with a cis woman that clearly knows what she talking about, and she a hood, a North Philly bitch. How she eating you up? How she eating you up? And it gets worse. And I'm not expecting everybody to be perfect, but some stuff is easy. We just broke down the new letters. Oh, we forgot the plus. What's the plus? What's the plus, y'all? Can y'all tell the people what the plus is? What's the plus? Thumbs up if you're watching. Let me give people a chance to answer. What's the plus, child? Everything else not straight. It's the etc. Etc. When you hear somebody say list them shit and then at the end, etc., it's the etc. It's the etc. Other shit. Other shit that may not fall in these other categories, some other extra that we might not know, or we don't know what's going on, that might be out of all these other categories. It might be out and they extra, etc. Because unlike cisgender people, we want our group to be expansive and welcoming. And so we have you ain't figured it out what letter you are? Plus. Questioning. Questioning means that I'm like, I can see some stuff I'm dealing with. Plus is like, yo, I don't even know what the fuck any of this shit is, and I don't feel it. So, plus. I know I'm not that though. Etc. Etc. So it ain't too many more letters. It ain't hard. It ain't hard to grasp these concepts. And if you're resisting it, it's because you're a transphobe. It's because you're a homophobe. It's because you're resisting the change, because it's not that difficult. It's not that hard. If you sit and talk about it and understand it, it's not that hard. It's like pronouns and shit. It's not that hard to understand. I want you to call me by the pronouns that I want to be called. It's not that hard. Only motherfuckers who make it hard is people who are resisting it. If I tell you my name is Diamond and you know my old name and you want to use my old name, it's because you don't want to use Diamond. We change, people change their name all the damn time. Change their titles or change what you call them. They get their doctorate degree and now you got to call them doctor. Doctor. Do you say, no, that's too hard? No, you don't. If they say, call me, I went to school and earned my doctor, so call me doctor. You ain't going to tell them, no, I don't align with respectability politics and the academia ivory tower. And no, you're going to respect them. I don't understand the question, Musical Utopia. What do you think of how they use hypervisibility to mobilize against trans people? I don't understand. Give me a scenario so I can understand what you're talking about. So I can answer your question. Yes. So in my brain, it's not that hard unless you're slow. Now, if you're slow and you don't get it, then why are you talking about it? Why can't you just say, I don't know? I don't understand. You know, I'm kind of slow. I don't get it. It's kind of hard for me to understand. But no, you positioning yourself as an expert. Cis. You're comparing cis, the prefix that's been around way before us. We didn't make it up. It wasn't made up for us. What is made up for us? Most of the shit that we have, advancement for trans people, is shit that was made for cisgender people that just so happened to work for shit that we wanted to do. Hormones weren't made for us. It just so happens to work for shit we wanted to do. Implants wasn't made for us. It just happened to work to do shit that we wanted to do. Any surgery wasn't made for us. how people who have little dealings with trans people take it as something as the center of their lives for political mobilization. I feel like that's all of them. I don't think I don't I don't know. I feel like that's all of them. I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me. Like I feel like that's normal for people. Most people don't be knowing who trans people are. Like that's normal, especially like religious right wing conservative. They don't be trans people don't be around their life. Found out cis woman got FFS2 and was so stuck. But I want y'all to grasp this though, so you're not surprised by that. Grasp that any surgery, any body modification that you are doing to make you feel more feminine or make you feel more masculine is gender affirming care, whether you're a cis person or a trans person. If you are getting your titties bigger because your titties are too small and it makes you feel more womanly to have big old knockers, you are getting gender affirming care. You are getting them titties to affirm your gender because your natural body is masculine, is flat chested, and you don't feel comfortable with them. So you get implants to make you feel more womanly. Any surgery that you get that makes you feel more womanly and feminine or more masculine and manly is about affirming your gender. Period. Whether you cis or trans. If your nose is too big and you want it to be dainty, small, and feminine, you are getting that surgery to affirm your gender. If you are getting your legs extended so you can be taller, you are getting that surgery to affirm your gender. If you are getting lipo to make your body be more curved and feminine and getting the BBL to be more curved and feminine, you are getting a gender affirming surgery because you want to be more feminine. Now, the difference is you weren't assigned the opposite at birth. That's the difference. But you are still affirming your gender. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Got it? Are we got it? We got it. We got it. We going there. Niggas flying to Turkey for brand new hairlines and beards. IVF. Is that what it's called? If you go in there because you can't have children the natural way and you're letting science come in and diddle daddle with your cooter cattle to make babies because you want to be a mother, because that's womanly, that's what you think a woman should do, is gender affirming care. Because you want to feel more like a woman by becoming a mother. Indigo says, can't forget about the fitness influencers who take testosterone to achieve optimal physiques, male and female. That's why Omarion running around with titties. Because them testosterone make them grow titties. Because what people also don't know, this for trans people, cis people, when you get to taking these supplements, when you get to taking estrogen and you're a trans woman, when you overtake them, your body says, damn, you are taking too much testosterone. Let us produce, let's change that that estrogen, that over amount of estrogen into testosterone. And so what you're trying to accomplish, you actually do the opposite. Bitch, you start growing hair in places you didn't think you could grow it because you are creating more testosterone because your body is trying to balance it where it's supposed to be. Because we all make estrogen and testosterone. It's just at different balances. There's a norm, and then there's people who are outside of the norm. When we think about women with PCOS, they have an imbalance. That's why they growing beards and shit. And these are cisgender people. And so when these men get on this testosterone, they get to growing titties. Because you getting too much testosterone and it's turning into estrogen. And so them boobs is popping out. You got to start popping that core. Like we do, honey. Like the old school girls used to talk about. Gotta pop that core, baby. FFS originally was just called craniofacial surgery. Dr. Astorhoff was doing it for women and men who didn't identify as trans. Yes, none of the surgery was made for us. Come on, Dr. Astorhoff. Oh, I wish he was still doing work. That's my only regret about being my age is I wasn't old enough to go to Dr. Astorhoff. I loved his FFS. Dr. O was my dream doctor. Anyway, so it gets worse though. Let's go back to the sexy Lexi and Mona.
Just not a regular woman.
So a trans man is still let you hit him in the coochie?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit
the
him.
bed.
All right.
So they have a conversation about having sex with trans men. Yo, everybody, it's okay. You can have sex with who you want to have sex with consent. But when we own these platforms, yo, we have to be careful with how we talk about our brothers. We have to be careful with how we talk about our brothers. If you listen to our brothers, they will tell you that just like we are objectified about our bodies, they too are objectified about their bodies to be this experiment. And so when we are talking about trans men and having sex with trans men, we have to be careful with how we talk about them to not narrow them down to their body parts. We have to be careful in how we talk about them when it comes to objectifying them. It can not only be triggering in regards to gender identity and gender dysphoria, but it also can be demeaning. So we have to be careful in how we talk about our brothers. When you are a trans girl, now I ain't got no dog in that fight because I don't date trans men. So I don't. So because of that, but on the outside looking in, I have trans men friends and how they talk about how men objectify them when it comes to fucking them, and how trans women, how butch queens, how they talk about it is y'all can get real objectifying and real disrespectful. still putting them in the category of women, even though they're allowing you to sexually explore with them, just like they're exploring with you. And then you get to still talking to them like you a fucking man. To me, it's talking about them like you a man. Like, yeah, I get in that pussy. What? That is weird. Weird. It's very weird. So we have to be mindful in how we are talking about our brothers when we are on these platforms, because it can inform other people in how they can talk about us. We see how the straight boys are talking about the studs and how it can be kind of weird to studs, like y'all being fucking creeps. We got to be careful, be conscious, be mindful about how we are talking about our brothers. Does it make sense? Am I tripping or am I not tripping? Thumbs up if you're listening. I don't know. That just feels kind of weird to me. Like, we don't want to be objectified and talked about in a certain kind of way. So we have to be mindful in how we talk about other people. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to find other stuff that I wanted to talk about. So this goes to this video. I be trying to string the videos together that I be wanting to talk about.
I really understand that if trans women aren't safe, then we aren't safe either. And by we aren't safe, I mean Black women specifically. I'm really talking to all women, but because I'm a Black woman, I can only speak on my experiences. We can have this argument and y'all can battle between who's a real woman, who's not, and what womanhood is, and it belongs to us, and we need to keep it all you want. If trans women aren't safe, then we aren't safe either. Because at the end of the day, they aren't checking your pants to make sure that you're trans or not. Okay, they're going based off of looks alone. We all know what happens to a Black woman that looks a little masculine. Okay? Along with Black women, there are a lot of women out there that have more masculine features. If you have PCOS, if you are a little bit muscular, if you have a strong jawline, you're not safe. Once we all really get on the wavelength that gender is confusing and it doesn't matter and it has layers, that the words man and woman are a societal construct and they're not real, then we'll have an easier time having this conversation. But for right now, that's what I need you to understand, is that their fight is our fight. Okay? If it becomes illegal to be transgender, what the fuck do you think is going to happen to you if someone thinks that you might be a trans woman? If someone thinks that you might have been born biologically male, but you're a cis woman? They're not going to sit there and wait for you to get out your ID, okay? They're going to look at you and make their judgments based off of what they think a woman is. Black women ain't really never been a part of that conversation of what a real woman is throughout history. So all this transphobia that I see running rampant through the community, I need y'all to cut that shit now.
I think that is a perfect example, honey. I mean, I think that what I'm about to show y'all, is a perfect example.
Everyone who was supporting the demonization of people of the trans community, we told y'all that it would not just affect the trans community.
They came in here in the girls' restroom because I'm a girl and they didn't think I was a girl. So they try to come take me away because I'm a girl. I ain't got it.
This is exactly what we knew would happen. And y'all said, no, it's just to protect women. So how do you protect women who are mask presenting, just going to the restroom, and then 2 male cops go into the restroom to do what? Arrest her?
Okay.
Everyone who was supporting.
I know that song is Mozart, so I can't. It's gonna demonetize me. I want y'all to listen. 2 cops coming in the bathroom about a trans person. Now, this is a Black person. How many situations have we seen escalate to somebody's murder when cops get called to a scene about some bullshit? Particularly mass trans people. Now, I'm an expert. I'm considered an expert on this because I have done studies and created databases around this. I got awards for it. The research data that we discovered. Now, of course, we know that when it comes to homicides and trans people being murdered, trans women dominate those numbers when it comes to trans people, particularly dark-skinned Black trans women. Dominate those numbers. It's not even close. Okay? But if you take trans women out of the equation and just look at trans men or non-binary people, take trans women out of the equation. Okay? Just the cases of trans men, 40% of the cases between 2015 and 2022, 40% of them was killed by cops coming to do a mental check or were called for some type of disturbance. So while ours was intimate partner violence, where our partner killed us, this other 60% was their partners killing them. But 40% of them was male cops, was cops. So, like she said, if you a Black woman and they thinking that you're trans, are they going to be coming in thinking about your safety? The statistics show they are already killing trans masked people. And so if they think that you're trans, how is that going to work out for you? Hands up, don't shoot. Is that going to work out for you good? Every single time? Y'all see the point I'm trying to make? Does this look good for y'all? Does this look like a safe spot? If they're making trans people illegal and it's just based off looks, like she said, it's not going to be, oh, pull your pants down. That's weird. They already trying to pass a law, or if they did pass a law that they can look at the genitalia of kids. They already done started trying to make they already trying to make laws where they can check children's drawers. How that's going to work out with the pedophiles in the school, the Larry Nassirs of the world? How is that going to work out? Y'all already got a pedophilia problem on the right and the left, mostly on the right. Y'all already got a pedophilia problem in the churches and the schools. How y'all gonna work that out? Maybe I missed it. What's the purpose of looking at children's genitalia? To know if they're trans or not. This is scary, and I saw this in a dream. And yes, how is this going to keep children safe? I think it's a smokescreen for people like that to have their way with children and it be legal. I don't think that that's the intent, but that's going to be the consequence. No shade. I think that when you have these kind of laws, it makes people who make children more vulnerable to pedophilia. I don't think that they do it on purpose. I think it's just the natural way that if a law is set up to be weird, it's gonna let weirdos thrive. I think that just happens. Kind of like when I remember when they had a prison. Think about during the time of the Troubles and the laundries in Ireland. I didn't just learn about them, but got a deeper understanding of them when I was in Ireland. Also, I remember in Indiana, there was one of the first women's prison was in Indiana. And because of the law and how the law was set up and how they were criminalizing hysteria in women and sending them to prison and sending them to these laundries to be slave laborers, but also to sell them to people. They were charging men $10 at the time to go into these prison cells and rape the women, turning them into the prison into a brothel. These laws did not intend for these actions to set it up, but when you get creepy men who have no respect for women in power, it's just going to lend itself to doing this. Thumbs up. Good morning, everyone. It's 8:43 at where I'm at. What time is it where you are?
Everybody is not going to get it.
Shut up.
It's not for everybody to digest.
Is it 4 a.m.? What did you know?
Why I got this playing random shit? Stop playing random shit. 9:43. Work. Oh, y'all on the East Coast, honey. East Coast girlies. East Coast girlies. East Coast or East South, Southeast. Detroit, Midwest. I think I'm going to save these for later. Yeah, I think I'm going to save these for later, for another time. But yes, I wanted to talk about that because pandering to cis people doesn't help them. It doesn't help us and it doesn't help them. That's number one. Number two, the more you don't help us and the more you marginalize us to being this other and criminalizing us, the more it's going to affect you as a cis person. The more, as a gay person, as if you're cis and gay, cis and straight, it is going to harm you, baby. The more they rally people to be against trans people, is the more people they rally to against, and the more powerful and likely they're able to overturn gay marriage. They just stopped funding to HIV medications to a lot of organizations. So if you are on these medications, it's going to make it more difficult for you to get access to them if you're poor. Now, if you're rich and you got insurance, you may be privileged in that kind of way. But it also gives those people more power who supports those insurance companies to dick you in your butt around denying you. So the more people they rally against us, is the more they're going to be harming you. Their whole platform was talking negatively about trans people. And then they get in office and they fire governmental people. They fire people. They stop farmers from getting work. Stop farmers from being able to get their loans for their equipment and da-da-da-da-da. So they boosted up using us to boost up their numbers. And then now they are harming you. And you're sitting on the internet crying about it. Oh my God, I didn't know that they were going to do this. They told you that they were going to do that. They actually told you. It was in their policy. It was in Project 25, baby, that you conveniently ignored. I love this color. Ooh. Hey, Miss Polk. How are you? Anything that is not white, cis, male, Christian, etc., you are not safe. You are not safe. You're just not. Because they're going to use those numbers to work against you. I am great. They're going to use those numbers while you sitting over there clapping. Yeah, get those trans. They're going to use those numbers to turn against you. Black men that voted for Trump. All the police racist imbalance in the justice system, they literally defunded and erased continuing to investigate police. There's nothing wrong with my bra. It's the top. It's the pattern. It's the police. They done stopped investigating them. And so when they do stuff to y'all, which we know there's an imbalance in what they do to y'all, we know there's an imbalance. So now they're not even investigating it. So how is that going to affect you? The tariffs are going to affect you. Now, if you're rich, then it's not going to affect you. If you're rich, you're going to be good. If you're rich, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But the tariffs are going to affect you. Cis women with deep voices will be affected as well. Definitely, for sure. They are already getting clocked. Y'all seen that balloon popping little thing when the cisgender woman come in there got all these credentials, and she come in there talking, and all the trade popped the balloon because of her voice. People getting harassed in the bathrooms. People, it's just like it's you're and I know what we're saying. We're saying that it's going to affect you as to help as a deterrent, but it really shouldn't be when something affects you that you should care. It really shouldn't be like that, yo. It really shouldn't be like that. You should see the humanity in other people enough to not want things to happen to other people. That's just what it is. So the trans girls got to start using the male bathroom. If you want to be unsafe, if that's a safe space for you to use it, I keep seeing this content, and it's kind of weird to me. This content from the young girls that are like, "Oh, do you want me in the bathroom with your husbands?" If is that safe for you to do? To even threatening that is, we already know that they turned on by us. That ain't no gotcha moment. That's not where it's gonna go. Where it's gonna go is what we see happening in the legislation. Where it's gonna go is that it's gonna be illegal for you to be dressing like that. It ain't gonna be, oh, go to the right bathroom, go to the male bathroom. It's gonna be, why are you dressing like that and you're a man? It's not gonna go to, oh, you can be dressed like a woman and go to the male bathroom. That's not what it's gonna be. It's gonna be, oh, not only can you not go to the women's bathroom, you can't go to the men's bathroom dressed like that either. Because it's fraud. And you can't say that this is not what they just turned Roe versus Wade. If they can turn Roe versus Wade, they can turn everything else. And there are states with masquerade laws still on the books. Don't and you can see how they're going back to these 1800 laws. They literally trying to go back to laws in the 1800s. And so there are anti-sodomy laws still on the books. There's a lot of things that's still on the books that they just weren't persecuting people for. There's many names for it: masquerade laws, cross-dressing laws, public indecency laws. Public indecency, we think of like you being naked, but it's also being enclosed of the other sex. That was considered public indecency. Yeah, they're gonna be, but they weren't able, you're not able to go into these spaces as a man, as a woman. Like you just gonna be at the urinal. No, that's not how it works. They're gonna make laws where it's illegal for you to even be dressed as a woman. That's what we're going back to. Y'all thinking about, yeah, I just don't and that's gonna criminalize not just trans people. It's gonna criminalize cis people that don't dress like they think cisgender women should. So if you are a stud, if you are a gay man that dresses a little bit more femme, they can lock you up and charge you. That's how it used to be. And like I said before, this ain't about fear mongering. Some of them still have it. Some of them still have it on the books. They're just not practicing it. They're just not prosecuting people, but they can start. Mm. Oh, y'all, they got some new flavors at Petra Farm. We was talking about Petra Farm. They got cocoa white vanilla, and I smashed these already, but they got the white chocolate strawberry. Fire. These are so good. These are okay. And there's another one. I think it's an orange one. Not orange or something. There's another one. I didn't get them because I didn't want to be greedy. But the strawberry, fire. The coconut are okay, but they're not amazing. Yes, they have the dark chocolate, but it's other flavors. It was a third one. There's 3 new ones. Strawberry white chocolate, coconut white chocolate, and then there was another. I can't remember the name. Lemon white chocolate. Yes. That sound good. All of them sounded good to me. But I only got these 2. I don't take this as fearmonger. I take it as lesson to learn and educate others so that they will not, they vote better in the future. And when we have fascist regimes that are kind of when they was coming into power, people were saying afterwards, I wish we would have taken it seriously. The Jewish people, old, most of them is dead now, but when they were going through that, you look at the interviews of those people, they say, I wish we would have taken it seriously. We didn't think that it was going to get this bad. By the time we figured it out, we were on trains going to Auschwitz. They were burning down our stores, burning down our houses. By the time we thought, oh, they're just talking shit. By the time we figured it out that we were in danger, it was too late. Mm. But that's all the stuff I wanted to talk about. I feel like we're in the too late portion, baby. We are not in the too late portion. If we still able to talk like this and be free and shit ain't shut down, we ain't there. Motherfuckers, we ain't going to the gas chambers, y'all. We ain't at the too late portion. We ain't going to the gas chambers yet. It ain't too late. They sending the immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. So maybe we are, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know. We just got to be diligent. I definitely feel like everybody should be getting pum pums. Everybody should have a pum pum in their house, I think. Have a great day at church. Yeah. But shit, but even if you're not, even if you're not, it still should be in your house. That's not carrying, that's in your house. Have it in your house because you don't know what's going on. Have it in your house, ready to go. My state isn't open carry, but trust we got it on this. Oh, baby, y'all done had it on there since definitely since the 80s, 70s, the 80s, baby. The gang members definitely was toting them things. So I ain't never was in any kind of delusion that Cali don't fuck with guns.